put my noodles in. Run it for 3 minutes. Finish running it. And the food is still literally ice cold. Plug in a refrigerator, it runs, but don't get cold. One day, this light switch turns on the lights, and another day it don't. Same with this one. Uh-oh, not working all the way today. So that, YouTube, is when I had to start diagnosing, figuring out what's going on with my guest house. So the first step for me fixing the electrical was to go and get one of these electric testers from Harbor Freight. Whoever installed the receptacles was upside down. Plug it in, and we're getting the 2 lights. So we look down here at what the 2 lights means, and it says open neutral. Another headache with these houses, but it's all right. We're in a better place, guys. So next step is going to be tracing that open neutral. So I'm going to go and check out the panel box and see if maybe there's a loose wire or something going to the outlets. Coming out to the electric panel box, took the cover off, and I can see that these are the wires coming in. And there's 4 of them. Looking at all the crud and gunk and nastiness in this panel, and there's really not room to add another bus bar, I don't think, safely. So I think that I'm just gonna get a new panel and replace this one and separate the neutrals and grounds. That's about the time I realized I got bigger fish to fry, guys. Used my electric tester, and I tested across the 2 poles of 220 for 110, 120, whatever it's going to come out as. And one of the poles is only giving me 80 volts. The other one is giving me 120. So there's something going on. Now the main panel in the house, I see those same 4 wires coming in right there. And they come down to connect to this breaker right here, which is a 100 amp breaker, and then 2 go to the neutral ground bus. So I use my electric tester over here and touch it to neutral or ground, and to each pole on this breaker that feeds that sub panel. I'm getting 120 on both legs. And so that tells me that there's a break in one of these wires between here and the sub panel. Some sort of short, something going on. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off at this end. That tells me the line between this house and this house has a break, a short, a something wrong. There's no easy way to fix this, guys. I'm going to have to dig a trench. I'm going to have to run a new wire between the 2. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to upgrade that electrical panel and get rid of that old rusty, crusty, crud-filled one. Oh, man. And I've only got 2 weeks to get this thing livable, because my mother-in-law had her job transferred and she's going to be needing to live in it. So let's get to work. In order to upgrade that box, I'm thinking we're going to have to demo out all of this just to get it out of the way. And over here is where I replaced the frozen pipe. So this box kind of needs rebuilt anyways. It's a bit rotten at the bottom. So I'm going to start smashing it up and breaking it away from the wall. Got the doors off. Got the lid off. Now I'm going to start breaking this part away from the wall. And then I got the rest of that to take down. What an absolute mess under there. I also noticed that this black ABS is all cracked, split. Might as well replace some of that. So, dug a new ditch down all the way around, all the way up there. Our power wire had some splices underground. Might have been why we were getting voltage drop between one place and the other. I figure while I'm that deep, I might as well run PEX between the 2 as well. So there's my wonderful tool assortment. Basically pieces of scrap metal this little hoe thing and a busted shovel. Gotten the trench done. Was able to tunnel underneath this concrete all the way. Now I'm going up underneath the house's foundation, and to do that I've been using this little guy by hand, reaching up as far as I can, but now I use this, and I was able to stab it up, and I'm pretty sure that I'm up in the crawl space now, but I'm going to reach up there by hand again and keep on in the dirty way, or I might go up inside and dig down where that's popped up at. So now into the crawl space side of the basement. I've got to crawl up here and all the way down there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little metal rod poking up right down here where I poked up through under the foundation. So gotta crawl all the way over there, use this little guy, try to dig out a little bit better so that I can feed that PEX up and into this crawl space and drag it all the way down here to connect it. Got the hoodie on, got the light on, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm almost to the little rod there, battling cobwebs and funkiness. But I got this. There's my rod. I'm gonna try to follow it down. Just kill the black widow. Yuck. But I got this, guys. Just like you can do it. There we go. Light at the end of the tunnel. So now I can push that PEX and power wires up through there. Oh man, I am so dirty. Digging trenches, crawling underneath in that crawl space. Ugh. I already had some extra fittings in my crimp tool, my cutoff tool, and some extra crimp rings and things that I'll need, so didn't have to buy quite everything, but I had to buy quite a bit. So I found these PVC to NPT thread, and then NPT into PEX. So I got one that's elbowed, one that's straight. I put some Teflon tape on there, and I'm going to go ahead and get this tightened on here, and then I'll use my purple primer and blue glue and glue this. So back down here into the basement that we've become familiar with, and the pipe that goes over to my mother-in-law's was leaking right there and cracked and dripping down anyways. So now we're removing all of this back to about right there. So we still got the on and off there, and I'm going to install my elbow with the PEX adapter face this way, because now we're going to go along out into the crawl space all the way down to the other corner of the building, or the house, to serve the mother-in-law quarters. Cut that. Got some water on the ground, but that's all right. Went ahead and used the purple primer and blue glue. Got that elbow put on there. So now when I bring the PEX up through that trench that I dug over to here, I'm going to have to drill a hole through this sill plate so that I can bring the PEX right over here and crimp it to that. This coil, I pull from the center, just stand on it, and then unroll, step forward, stand on it, unroll, and that kind of straightens it out along the ground. Another trick for you guys, even though you've tried to roll out the coil and straighten it out, it's still going to have some loop-de-loops. Feed it through a section of pipe and it'll help straighten it, and so that you can feed it where you need it to go. So I shimmy myself clear back up under here, and there's that pipe with that glove finger that I pushed through. So can grab that and keep on pulling. I don't got no help, so I straighten out the pipe as best I could. I'm gonna pull till it feels like it's getting, bound up tight. I'll go out there, I'll give myself some more slack, come back down, pull some more. So that was way more successful than I thought it'd be. We got all that down and around, so time to straighten it out, and then I'll go out there, straighten it out there, come back down. Got it from way over there all the way to this end where I can pretty much just grab it standing. So time to go out and straighten it so I can pull some more, because I just got to come into right here and then right over there. So I pulled some more through the pipe, got it right here ready to go in. I'm gonna go pull some more. So my little helper coming to give me a hand. Let's keep pulling this stuff. It pulls pretty easy actually, especially for the amount of length that I got out there. Now I'm gonna go back with some of these little clip deals, secure it along the way. So on this end, it'll help hold up that insulation, which is a project for another day. Subscribe for that, guys. But I got it running all the way down, all pinned up. Using my busted little shovel, started scooping the dirt. I'd put my feet down on that PEX pipe there and throw the dirt on and then kind of pack it in. And then I walked along the whole trench, just keeping the PEX pipe on that edge and bringing in dirt and packing it down and in. So I put probably about 6 inches or so of dirt back down on top of that PEX line, and I kept it to this side. That way when we run the wire, we'll be up and over to this side, and hopefully that's close enough for code. Who cares really? So you remember a few days ago on one of my videos, we didn't even have an on-off valve at this end where it goes into the house. So I just added this one, and I didn't want to buy another one. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down and reuse it. And we'll do a coupler and then into that other PVC adapter. Okay, so again, putting the Teflon tape onto there. I'm going to go ahead and tighten it up off of the pipe so that I'm not putting a bunch of torque onto the pipe. But little tip, I didn't remember any sandpaper, so I just lightly gripped the end of that dirty old pipe with the channel locks and rotated it back and forth, try to clean it up and get it ready to glue. So I put that PEX inside of a short piece of PVC, and I brought it up here and I did a little loop-de-loop and connected it in. The reason why I left the loop-de-loop is because inside this house there's PVC, CPVC, and just I want to redo the plumbing anyways, so I'm going to end up cutting this out and running the PEX into the house. But for now, this gets it working. Now that I've got the water line ran, which is needing to be the deepest so that it doesn't freeze, we put some more dirt up on top of it, and we ran the power wire. We ran them into the main panel from that 100 amp breaker up through a conduit and into a new breaker box. With that new breaker box, we put conduits for the other wires as well. Makes it look much better, let alone protects it from the sun and the other elements of the weather. For the sewer end of things, got 3 lengths of 3-inch for the actual sewer pipe, and then I got a 2-inch for my vent pipe going up, and then a whole bunch of fittings and things that I thought that I'd need, and also a thing of the ABS cleaner and cement. So you get all your pieces and parts from Home Depot and you just start building backwards, and I use a level and I put a chunk of something at the other end to where it gives me my 1/4 inch per foot drop. So I used a 1/2 inch piece on a 2-inch level, which gives me my appropriate drop, and then I bury the pipe just a little bit at a time, making sure that I keep that 1/4 inch drop per foot. And then I just keep on adding my pieces, guys, and planning it out. And I'm almost back to where it's got to connect up here. I'm going to do a clean out, and I'm going to do a vent. I'll finish that out. It's all the proper slope. Really, I can start burying that if I want to. I try to get the dirt underneath and kind of pack it in before I just throw a bunch on top and then smush it, because then the pipe will kind of... But now I'm to an upright, so I'm going to have to do an elbow down and then a short piece into that. So I started this project trying to fix some electrical, but we ended up with new power, new water, and new sewer setups. I know there's going to be some hater out there saying that it's not up to code, it's not perfect, it's not this, it's not that. Well, you know what? It didn't work before. It works now. It used to leak before. It don't leak now. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty happy. Now it's time to head back, hit the road, drive 5 hours, and load a U-Haul with my mother-in-law's stuff so that she can get moved out here. And I call that success. Me and Choppy laying here. Put my backpack there in the middle, give him some room for his legs so he could lay down better. Rolling in the U-Haul. Moving mother-in-law's stuff today. So that's major progress, guys. So I persevered. I pushed through despite the setbacks, despite finding more and more issues going on. Mother-in-law is moved into the mother-in-law quarters, guys. Hit that like before you take off. Really helps out this small YouTuber trying to grow, trying to beat those evil algorithms. If you like my videos, if you enjoy somebody encouraging you guys, telling you guys you can take on projects like this too, hit that subscribe button. Really be appreciated. The reason why I do this channel isn't to show off my victories, my projects. It's to encourage you guys and tell you to believe in your God-given hands, believe in your abilities, believe that you guys can take on these same kind of projects. So till next time, keep building shit.